guys, Miss Charlie here with my monthly project pan for what I use for November and what I'm going to be using for December. So we got a lot to get through, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna just randomly pick things that I have in front of me and go through them. I went through this Tarte, this is their Sugar Rush lip balm in peony lip butter. I used this up. There was only a little bit left, and I went ahead and finished that up. And I brought in this lip balm from a Bali Balm, sweet orange and coconut. I don't really like this. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I don't really like it because as soon as you put it on, about 5 seconds later, it's gone. You got to keep reapplying it. I like the way it smells. I like the way it feels, but it doesn't last very long. So I might try to continue to use this, or I might get rid of it, because what's the point if you have to keep applying it over and over? Through the course of doing my makeup up until I do like lipstick or lip gloss, I have to apply this at least 5 times. And that's not what I want. I want to apply it once, and that's good for the whole time I'm doing my makeup. So that's what I pulled in after I used up this Tarte lip balm. The Cnutbutrbeauty Hydrating Mist. This is where she started at, all the way up here, and this is where she is now, all the way down here. I used this before makeup to add some hydration, and also to spray my brush when I was using a shimmer or a multi-chrome, or to spray a sponge applicator to help them go on better. And then also after I put my powders on, and then to set my powders. It was really nice. It has a floral scent, so if you are sensitive to scents, you might not like this, but I enjoyed it. It added the hydration that I needed. It laid down my powders. It helped my shimmers and multi-chromes go on beautifully, no problem at all. But there's where she is on this. The 2 foundations that I used, which was the Milani Screen Queen and then the CoverGirl Full Spectrum Matte Ambition. They were full when I started, and this is where they are both now. So I used quite a bit of those, and I just mixed them together, and they work just fine. So, and they're almost the same color. This was a tad bit darker than this one. This one is in Toasted Tawny, and this one is in Tan Golden. This one, they discontinued this. I don't know if this is still available. I got this at TJ Maxx. I got this at Meijer. But those were the 2 foundations that I used. The setting spray that I used was the Slay All Day by Gerard Cosmetics. This is the peach one, and it was full when it was up here when I started. And then this is where she is now. So I've used quite a bit of this, and this does help your makeup last all day. I've gone through so many of these. I like the peach one, I like the lavender one, and I love the mint chocolate one. So when I repurchase, I'll probably end up getting the mint chocolate. But this is the Slay All Day from Gerard Cosmetics. These Makeup by Tammy liquid blushes, I did use them, but you only need the tiniest bit of these. These will last you forever. So what I might end up doing is taking some of this and put it into a really tiny container, and maybe passing the rest of it on to my friend or somebody, because I'm not going to use all of this. I'm never going to use all of this, so maybe pass it on to see if someone else can get some use out of it, because my best friend does do makeup on other people from time to time, so maybe this will help her out. But I'll just leave, you know, save some for myself in a small container, because that's all you need, and pass them on to her. But these were fine, but I used those, a warm tone and a cool tone. For my powders, I used the Lorac. This is the Pro Loose Setting Powder. This is in cinnamon, and this is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD Powder. And I hit pan on this. And this one, I will show you the weight, because some of these I did weigh. I did weigh these. So this is to show you where it started, and then the weight that it is now, plus I hit pan on it, which is always a good thing. I think this is my second one. I love this powder. It doesn't leave a white cast. It doesn't leave a flashback. really enjoy this. I get this at CVS when I have a coupon, because CVS always has coupons. So make sure you sign up for their rewards or whatnot, so you can get those $3 off, $5 off, whatever, and get, you know, some things that you might want or need. But I used this one, and then the Lorac one, you'll see where it was when I started, and then where it is now in weight. So those were my two powders. For moisturizer, I use the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. It comes in a glass jar with a plastic lid, and the plastic lid always breaks. I don't know why they have it in such a nice heavy container and then the lid is cheap. I've had 2 of these and every time the lid breaks. So I don't know what's up with that, so I ended up putting it into a smaller container. So I did use a bit of this, but you only need a little bit because it is very, very concentrated. I just dipped my thumb in it, and whatever's on my thumb I put on my face, and it covers your whole face. And again, it's very concentrated, so you don't need that much, and it's very hydrating, especially this time of year. But this was the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. The Symbiosis Puffing, well, Depuffing and Dark Circle Eye Serum. This was okay. It moisturized my under eyes. I still have darkness under my eyes. I didn't see any of that go away. I try to tone down my darkness with concealer, but the concealer does okay, but I still see darkness, but that's fine. It's called my skin. That's fine. But this did not reduce the darkness under my eyes, but it did hydrate and whatnot. Plus I also use this at night when I do put an eye cream in my project pan. I use it during makeup, and then I also use it at night for my night skincare. So this is where it was when I started in weight, and this is where it is now. These jelly highlighters from e.l.f., I did not weigh them because you only need the tiniest bit, and I have a cool tone and a warm tone. And I might also pass some of this on to my best friend to see if, you know, she might like them as well, and, you know, just put them in a little container for myself and pass these on to her. But these were fine. They were nice and subtle. You can build them up to be a little bit more bright, but I used them as bases for powder. And this one is in Dew, and this one is in Cloud. And I got these both from the dollar store. For a highlight and blush, I used the NYX Chromatic Illuminating Powder. This one is in Snow Rose. Cool tone for when I did cool tone looks. It looks white, but it has a pink reflect. So pretty. And I'll show you this one, where it was and where it is, which is not that much because you only need a tiny bit of this stuff. The Believe Beauty highlighter. This one is in Champagne Kiss. This is a nice everyday highlight. Very champagne-y. And you only need a little of this too, so this is where she was and where she is. Again, not that much of a difference. The Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in Mellow Wine for a cooler tone. You can also use this as a warmer tone because it does have a little bit of a warm tone to it. As a blush, you need a tiny bit of this too. Dip it once and you can do both cheeks. And that's where she was and where she is. And then the Fenty Kilowatt Highlighter in Ruby Riches. I got this at TJ Maxx, and I use this as a blush because it is way too dark on me to be a highlighter. And it is a little warm and cool. And you can use it as a topper as well. It's got like that peach reflect to it. But I use this, and that's where she was and where she is. Again, not that much of a difference from these things because you only need a small bit of them. You're not going to see a lot of weight lost in these, but those were my blushes and highlighters. For contours and bronzers, for contour I used the Maybelline Super Stay foundation stick in espresso. I got this at the dollar store and I did not weigh it. I just showed it to you like this so you can see where it was, which is not that much because you only need a tiny bit of this. Barely touch your skin. Barely touch your skin. And that's all you need. And it blends out nicely, not with my finger, but with a brush, which is what I used. It blended out nicely as a contour into my foundation. So I use that. The Black Radiance Pressed Powder in Bronze Glow. You can get this at Walmart. And that's where she is. It's a nice powder, nice fine powder. I use it as a bronzer instead of a all over face powder. And this is where she was. And where she is. The Viseart bronzer. I just love this little packaging. And you can take this out, so if you buy, you know, a single of this, you can pop it out and put it. And I use this as my bronzer as well. And that's where she was. And where she is. And then the Alamar Complexion Trio. This one is the lighter one. I do have the darker one as well. And I hit pan. See that pan down there? Yep, I hit pan on that one and I just use these two together as a contour. I did mix a little bit of this one with my e.l.f. powder as an under eye powder sometimes, but mostly with the e.l.f. and the Lorac mixed together, but I did add that too. But that's what she looks like now. For my primers, I use the Farsali Skin Tune Blur and the BH Hydrating Face Primer. This was great. There's not a lot in this container. I would expect for it to be full, but it's not. But it worked just fine. And it does blur. It feels really thick when you put it on, not silicone-y, and it does blur. I don't know if you can see that, but it does blur your pores and makes your skin very smooth before applying your foundation. This one was hydrating. It also blurs, but this one reminds you of the Smashbox one, which is more silicone-y, but not as slippery as the one from Smashbox. That one is really, really slippery. This one has a little bit of more grip to it, and they were both very nice. So this one, you see the weight before and after, and then the same with this one, before and after. I used the e.l.f. lip scrub. Said I was gonna dig it out, and I have been digging it out, and it's still, there's still a lot left in there, but I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna go ahead and use it up, and I have a backup on standby. This is the brown sugar. Gone through this, I don't know how many of these in my lifetime, and then I use the lips, the Tarte and the Volley Balm with that. My concealers, I used up the rest of this one from Milani, got it from the Dollar Tree. This was the Retouch and Erase in Honey. This one is finished. And then I did pull in this Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand and mix it with it because it's a little darker to help tone down and color correct the darkness under my eyes. So I pulled that in as well, and I really enjoy that. And this one is in Ablaze. And then of course the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. This one is in Deep. So you'll see the weight on this one, where it was and where it is. I did use my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Kit again. This one is an ash brown. That's the only color it comes in. I want to work myself through this one because I do have a backup, but I need to get some more brow powders to use. I don't think I weighed this one at all, but this is what she looks like. She's beat up and dirty, but that's on my brow powder. For my brow pomade, I use the Cream Shop brow pomade in medium brown. This is really nice. I love this. I love this better than the ABH, and I have the ABH one. The ABH one is a little too ashy, even though it's ash brown. This one is a nice, deeper tone, more cool than the other one. So this is where she was, and this is where she is now. Oh, I also brought in another blush, a warmer tone blush. This is the Tinkerbell from the ColourPop Tinkerbell collection. This one is in Darling. I brought this in as well for a warmer tone blush. It's like a peachy with a little bit of a shimmer to it. Just watch it. I did not weigh it. Oop, that's nice. Just stick it right in there. So it's like a peachy tone. It's also a nice topper, so I brought this in to my project pan for November. Also for brows, I had pulled in the Pen Pal from Alley Oop. I used this and I used it up, so it's all gone. I have not used the lip liner, and I did not use the black liner in it. I might pull that in later, but I did use the brow color up in this. And then I pulled in my Ride or Die, which is the Wet n Wild Color Icon pencil in See My Brow. See how long these pencils are? Last you forever. You get these at the dollar store. I have backups from when they were $1, and then they're $1.25, and this will last you for a long time. I have the black one too, but this one, you can use it as a lip liner, an eyeliner, brow liner, multi-use. So that's what I pulled in after I used this one up. My Ace Beauté base in Deep, I used it. I don't think I weighed it, but this was my shadow primer that I used in November. The e.l.f., this is just a wax stick for your brows. I did not weigh it or anything like that because you only need a little bit of this stuff, and it worked fine, and I didn't notice. It has a little sharpener at the bottom, but I didn't need a sharpener. It was fine. So that was used. For liners and mascara, I already talked about the Milk Kush Lash Primer. I used that. I didn't weigh it because this thing, you could kill somebody with it. It's so heavy. So I didn't weigh this, but if you didn't see my last video, it is white, and it has that spirally wand on it, and it worked just fine. You have to clean off this brush because it will make it very clumpy, but I did notice that it did add some volume when I used my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. This is just a mini that I got at TJ Maxx. I may get a full size because I love this mascara. I love this wand, and these two together work great. I had pulled in this Ardell Wispies fiber building mascara, and I used it for the first couple days of November, and this is trash. So I got this at TJ Maxx for like $2.99, and I know why it's $2.99, because it is trash. It did nothing, absolutely nothing, even with the lash primer. So this is trash. The liners that I used, the KVD tattoo liner and the Hankin, I brought in the Hankin Henry because I ended up using this one up. I got this in a drop box from BoxyCharm, and this is one of my favorite liners. It is a brush tip liner, and she's about, well, she got a little bit left in her, but she runs out really, really quickly now because there's not much left. So I brought in my Hankin Henry Blankety Black, and this is also a brush tip. This one is about out too. So that's cool. Going through 2 liners, that's good because then I can bring out other ones in my collection. So those were used. Also the W7 II Captain, I got this at TJ Maxx. This is drying up, so this is about ready to go too. There's a little bit in there, but you have to work fast with this. If you don't, it will dry up and start to flake and crack, but I still like W7's liners, but there's a little bit left, but she's almost dried up. For pencil liners, I used this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in black, Baby Got Black, and there's that much left. And I just alternated between these, the Bodyography one in Onyx, and the Essence Extra Lasting in Black Love. So those were the three black pencils that I went through, and I still got a lot to use in there for these. I might put these in with my January and just try to use these up. All right, so those were what I used for the month of November. Went through some things, had to pull in some other things because things were used up, or maybe things didn't work out or whatnot. But we're gonna move on to what I am using in December. Okay, so now that we've seen what I used in November, now I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be using for December. So I'm gonna start with the primer mist. I always use a primer mist, and this one is from BH, from their Paradise Refresh collection, and this is their face mist refreshing spray. It's about down to here, so this will probably be used up because I again used my spray to spray any shimmers or multi-chromes or duochromes, and then also to set my powder and before makeup. And I got this at TJ Maxx for like $3, so it works just fine. So I want to try to use this up. For lip treatments, I have the Be Pure Sleeping Mask. I got this from the Dollar Tree along with the lip scrub, which I really like the lip scrub. But this is the lip mask. It's very moisturizing and whatnot. Sorry for the dog. If she sees something outside, she's gonna bark because she's a dog. Sorry, but it's very moisturizing and very hydrating, and you get a lot in here for $1.25. So that will be my lip balm. And then for my lip scrub, I'm using this Amina lip scrub in Macaroon. It smells like you want to eat it. It tastes slightly of like sweet tarts. It doesn't have a strong taste at all. It's got a great scrub to it. You only need a little bit, but this will be my lip scrub and my lip mask or lip balm for December. For my face primer, I'm using this Illamasqua primer. This is their Hydra Veil. I have the Beyond Veil and the Hydra Veil. I got these in drop box with Boxy. The other one is a different, it's an opaque color. This one is clear. It's like a jelly almost. It's really, really cool. But the one that I used before, the Beyond Veil, was very nice. You only need a little bit, and I like that it comes with a little spatula, so you're not sticking your finger in there. But this will be my face primer. For moisturizer and eye cream, I brought out my Dr. Brandt again. This is the Triple Peptide Eye Cream. Again, I use this before makeup and also at night for my nighttime routine, skincare routine, and I really enjoy this one. And then I brought out this Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. It's almost used up. I've gone through so many of these little jars, and I really like this moisturizer. Maybe in the future, once I go through most of my moisturizers, I might get a larger size, but this one is fine, so I'm gonna use this up. And then the, excuse me, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I got this in a giveaway on Instagram, and I used this for 30 days and it's still got a lot in there. You only need a little bit, very concentrated. So I'm gonna use both of these for December and try to use them up, and then the Dr. Brandt eye cream. For concealers, I'm using the Almay Clear Complexion Concealer. This one is in medium deep. I got this in an influencer along with the foundation. I really enjoy the foundation. First time I'd ever tried Almay, and it's a beautiful foundation. It's a little too red, but I have to mix it, but I mix my foundations anyway, and it works just fine. It's medium coverage. It's like a nice skin-like finish, but the concealer is about my color. I still mix it, but it's okay. It's a lighter coverage. I need something a little bit more because of the darkness under my eyes, but again, I mix my concealers as well. And I'm mixing it with the Full Spectrum CoverGirl concealer. This does not have a shade on it. This is no longer available, as far as I know. They got rid of this line, but I have the foundation and I really enjoy it. And I'm so far liking the concealer. This one is a little bit more cooler tone. And then the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instafix. This one also does not have a color on it, but it's a lot lighter. I got this from the Dollar Tree, and I might as well go ahead and use this up, and I'll just mix these three together for my concealer. For powders, I have three. I just got this one in the mail a few days ago, and I've been wanting to try this since she came out with this a few years ago, and this is from Nakia Joy. I've been watching her channel for many years. She's Australian. She's cute as a button, and she came out with her own brand, Nakia Joy Cosmetics, and her powder and her beauty blender were, I think, the first things that she came out with. And right now I think she has some other things, maybe some brushes, but I know she has some multi-chrome, loose multi-chromes, and I picked those up too. But this is her Velvet Finishing Powder, and it comes in just this one color. It also comes pressed. It smells like vanilla. It smells like you want to eat it, but not like really overpowering, but it's a nice vanilla scent. It's very smoothing on the skin. It does not like erase your pores or anything like that as far as I've been using it, but it's nice. It's nice under the eyes too. It's not cakey. It just leaves it very nice and airbrushed. So I'm gonna put this in for this month, and then also I brought out my Beauty Bakery flour. This is the one in oat, I think. Yep, this is the one in oat. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I really like this. So these will be my lighter powders. And then for a deeper powder for finishing, I got the Laura Geller Baked and Brighten. This is in toffee. I have the one in deep, but I can't get that one anymore for some reason. So I saw in the BoxyCharm drop box that they have the toffee, so I went ahead and got this one, and it's just a shade or so darker than the deep one, but it mixes together with these because I have used these. I'm filming this on December 1st, so this is the first day I'm using my Project Pan items for December, so I did use these today, and they look beautiful together. So those are my powders. For my bronzer and highlight and contour, I'll start, and blush, I have the Alamar Blush Trio. This one is in Dark Rich, and that's what she looks like. I've had this for a few years, and you only need a little bit of this stuff. I hit pan on the Alamar bronzer palette for last month. I'm not going to hit pan on this for the rest of my life, but I don't need to bring in any other blushes because I have warm tone and cool tone together, and I can mix them. So that's what's going to be for this month. For bronzer, I brought out my Wet n Wild Sunset Striptease bronzer. It looks really light, but it's a nice bronzer to blend out contour, and I've had this for a while. There's a little dip in the center. The embossing is kind of deep, but you can kind of see in the center where it's dipped down a bit. I really enjoy this. It's got a little bit of a sheen, but not much. I don't like a really shimmery bronzer. I don't mind if it has a little bit, just for, you know, a light glow, but I don't like something that's overly bronzy, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is the bronzer. I got this Oprah palette. This is their midi palette in deep, and I got this in my BoxyCharm. last month, so I'm going to use this. And I like that you can take these out, and if you do have other Ofra items and say you're traveling, you can take these out and make you a specialized palette. But this bronzer is one of those. It's too red and it's shimmery. This I could probably use as a blush, but yes, but that's not going to be that's not going to be a bronzer for me, so I might use it as a blush. And then I have a warm tone highlight, because I always have a warm tone and a cool tone highlight depending on what I'm wearing. And then this as my contour is perfect. It reminds me of the one from Pure that I have been using for a long time, wanting to use it up. This one is nice. I don't think they have names on them, which I think is kind of, oh yeah, they do. So Nile, Saharan Dawn, and Abu Dhabi. But this is the palette I'm using for contour. This for blush and highlight from Ofra. For my cool toned highlight, I'm using the Wet n Wild Blossom Glow. This is really, really pretty. It's a pinky highlight. So pretty. So pretty. And you can build it up to be crazy, or you can blend it out to be a little bit more subtle. But that is my cool tone highlight. And then I have this here. It's in a Tarte container. But this is an e.l.f. bronzer that my best friend gave me a long time ago. And it was in a container and it broke, so I put it in here. This is too glowy to be a bronzer on me anyway. This I use as a highlight, so I can use this as a highlight as well. See, that can't be a bronzer. It's too shiny. So I use it as a highlight. So that's a nice champagne-y color that I can use as a warm tone or cool tone for this month. So those are my bronzer, blush, contour for this month. For my brows, I brought back out my KVD Brow Struck. I like this. It's got a little bit of a sheen in the pan, but it doesn't come off on the brows, and I really like this. I found this at TJ Maxx, and this is in dark brown. I need to find me a couple more brow powders to put in my collection because I'm running out of them. So if you can recommend any that I should try, let me know. I know Benefit has a lot of them, so I might try one of theirs maybe for Christmas if they have some on sale, and try one of their brow powders, but that's the one I'm using. And then this e.l.f. cream eyeliner in coffee. Got this at the dollar store. Using this as a liner to outline my brows and then fill them in with the powder. So you can multi-use your product. So I don't really wear brown eyeliner, so I figured this would be nice to outline my brows. And then I got this Bella and Argent clear brow gel in my BoxyCharm last month, and I was like, oh, I have some brow gels that I really like. The Anastasia one in the pot, I really enjoy that. And then I have the Juvia's, and then I have e.l.f. wax and something else. But I'm like, hey, let's try this. Well, I went to use it today, and it's got a nice wand on it. You can see it's got a nice small wand, which I really like that because I have brow hairs. I just don't have a lot on the ends, just towards the front and the middle. But this is a perfect size. But there is nothing in this container. I have done all of this. I'm swirling it around, and I'm gonna, there is nothing in this container, nothing. You see that? There's like nothing. I feel something, but it's like nothing. There's nothing there. I'm gonna do it one more time. There's nothing. Where is it? I know it's clear, but you would be able to see if there was something on this brush. And there's nothing. So I will be contacting BoxyCharm or somebody. And I'm like, there's nothing in this container. There's nothing in here. That little bit, that's hardly nothing. There's nothing. When I went to put this on my brows, I'm like, where's the product at? That was very, very disappointing. So I'm probably going to just use the wand, because I like the brush, and just bring out my ABH and just forget it. But that was disappointing already this month. For my eye base this month, I'm going to use this Beauty Crop Stuck On You Base Eye Primer. I got this in BoxyCharm, so I'm going to try this out and see how she works. And it is a doe foot applicator, and it is very light. So you will only need a little bit of this on your eyes. And it does not have a color on it, so it's just base. So we'll check that out and see how it works. For liner and mascara, I brought out my Estate liner. This one is almost used up. I've been proud that I've been using up my brush tip liners. This one is, I've used it a few times in Project Pan, so this one is about gone. I used up my tattoo liner and I used up my Hank and Henry, so I need to get me another brush tip liner. But I do have a couple still in my repertoire. And then I have the Ioni liquid liner. Got this from the Dollar Tree. This is a felt tip applicator, and this is very black and very nice. I love this one. I might have to get a backup of this one if I don't already have one, but that's this one, and it's just in black. I also have the Ioni eyeliner, which is also very good. Their brow liner I do not like, but this reminds me of the Essence Extra Lasting. It's very soft and very creamy, and it's $1.25. So get backups of these. I don't know if it comes in a brown, but if you like brown, you might like this too, but it's very creamy. And then for mascara, I'm using the e.l.f. Lash Beats Defining and Lengthening Mascara. I used it today. After 2 coats, it really lengthened. It really defined. The bristles could be a little bit longer, but I made it work, and it worked just fine. We'll test it the rest of the day to see if it droops my lashes, because I have naturally curly lashes, and sometimes some mascaras make them droop after, you know, through the day, but we will see. But so far with the first application, this one is doing just great. For foundation, I'm using one of my absolute favorites, which is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made. I have gone through countless bottles of this over the last few years, but I haven't used it recently because I have other foundations I've been trying to go through. But I used T70 and D20. This one you can only get online. You can't buy it in store. I used to buy it at Walmart. Now they don't carry this number anymore. You can only get it online. And then the T17. This one is cooler, this one is warmer, and I put those together and it's my perfect shade. Like I said, I've gone through at least of this color two bottles. This one, at least 2 bottles. And I have a backup of this one still, and I need to get a backup of this one. So I love this foundation. If you want something to last all day, this is what you need. Humidity, this is what you need. It's non-transferable. Your powder might come off, but your foundation is not gonna come off. That's great. I love that part of it. But it's an awesome foundation. It's not that expensive. You can get it at Walmart or get it online at Ulta or their website or whatnot. I will get this color at the Ulta website, so you know, use your points or whatever. But it's an awesome foundation if you want something to last all day and look skin light, not be heavy. It's beautiful. So this is what I'm using for my foundation. And then lastly, my setting sprays. This is a mist. That's the wrong one. Here we go. Setting sprays. So I have, again, the BH Paradise Set hydrating setting spray. Got this at TJ Maxx for like I think it was in clearance for like $3 or $4. It works just fine. It's already been in a project pan, so you can see the lines of where it was, but this is where it is now. And then the Tarte Maracuja Mist, I got this in a BoxyCharm drop box. I like this because it reminds me of the Morphe one, because it is a continuous spray, very fine. It sets my makeup. My oils come through, but I'm not like greasy or anything like that. It really keeps your makeup in place. Both of these really do. So these are the setting sprays that I will be using this month. Alrighty then, so these are the things that I will be using for the month of December in my project pan. Let me know if you've used any of the products that I used last month or what I'm going to be using this month. Thank you all for coming, hanging out with me, taking the time to watch this video. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you do follow me on Instagram, and also make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube for more videos. If you have any video suggestions, let me know. I will do my best. Again, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe, and take care, and we'll see you in the next one.